So yeah, I got a little advice, a little tiny little snippet of wisdom here, right? Don't let people befriend you that you know you can't give time to, or let alone spend your life with. You know what I mean? It's like you're just inviting people to disrespect you. If you know that you have only 3 spots for relationships, right? Like, this is why I only have like 3 best friends, and that's my limit. I can only have 3 best friends at a time. Okay? Because that's all I can afford, right? I know that my time management isn't the greatest. I know that I cannot give people all of my time, like all of my dedicated effort and emotional capacity. So I know that, like, I'm limited. And even in my limitation, I know the fact that I can only give one person the required amount of my time for them to function, right? So this is why I only have like 3 designated or 2 designated spots where, like, I'm gonna pick you and you're gonna be my best friend for 10 years plus, and then we're gonna keep that friendship for a long, long time, as much as we can, unless you fuck it up. And then I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna tell you why I left, and I'm gonna be straightforward to you, and there's not gonna be silent treatment, because I hate that shit, and I'm not about that shit. So, like, if you're the type to give people silent treatment, we cannot be friends. Okay? If you're about that, not communicating, I'm not up for that type of thing. So I will cut you off. I'm like, listen, I need to communicate. I need to make notes, facts, pull up evidence, and be like, this, and that, and you need to deal with it. Or else I'm going to find someone else to give my time to. You know what I mean? I'm going to give someone else my precious time for them to value it and appreciate me the way that I want to be appreciated. Because if I'm putting in effort, I think someone on the receiving end should put that effort too. You know what I mean? So I told Linda, I was like, be very careful who you befriend. Don't have many friends. Don't be a whore, okay? Because that's whore behavior. Having many friends is a whore behavior. You're giving your time and effort to people that don't deserve it. And then you're just giving them the opportunity to disrespect you later on in life. Don't give them the pleasure of getting to know you, okay? Reserve that for people that really do matter and deserve it. And so I told this Linda this little bit of wisdom that holds true till this day. Don't be a whore. You know, not even with your friendships. If you have 3 best friends and they've been your best friends for 10 years plus years, they deserve you to communicate with them on a regular basis and for you not to betray them. Because the moment that you betray people and you cheat on people and you just pussyfoot and just give people the silent treatment, you're just a low quality human being. You're just a low grade piece of shit. And so I told Linda, like, your friends are shit because you are shit. You know, you give that bit of energy and you're receiving that energy back, because those are not quality friends. They're not going to be with you 10 plus years. Okay? They're not going to be with you 10 plus years. They're not going to have your back when you need it the most. And I was right. I was very, very right. And so she was with some shady ass shit where her friend mother was a prostitute in a brothel in Mexico. I was like, you went and picked out of all the people in your school the prostitute that came from a brothel, who literally mistreats children, who has children in her home that have severe medical conditions that need a whole care unit, intensive care unit, may I add, nurses and everything, and she has them in her home because the government is paying her to take care of these children, and she's not taking care of these children properly, not with nurses or equipment. She's just leaving them there to suffer. And that's the person that you decide to be friends with? That's the person that I have to deal with? And I was like, Linda, listen, honey, I know that Delulu brown women are everywhere, but you have to be careful of the type of crazy, cannibalistic, masochistic, pain-inducing bitches that are out there, okay? These women enjoy inflicting pain on children, on men, on anyone who crosses their fucking path. They will inflict pain and suffering on people just because they get a kick out of it. And you know, it was like, How obvious do I have to be? You know, this woman is getting paid by the government to torture children eventually. Essentially, that's what she was. And so I was like, that's who your friends are? And so I was like, you know what? You know, I love my sister, but there's a point in time where, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And yeah, I left. I left my home for a couple of years because I couldn't take the shit from my mother or my sister or anybody else, because they literally managed to kill everybody in my family due to the fact that they brought in people they shouldn't have, like my father. My great-grandfather was a honest, hardworking beekeeper and farmer. And he told my mom straight up, I don't like the man that you have chosen to be the father of your children. My grandmother told her this. My aunt told her this. Her own brothers told her this. We don't like the man that you're choosing to be the father of your children. And she did not listen. She completely ignored everybody. And then, you know, everybody got screwed over because of it. And so, like, when you have family members in your family that don't seem to be getting a clue or hint, I think it's time to, like, move on and be like, you know what? You can figure it out. You can figure it out with the dangers of the world, with the sins and depraved behavior of mankind, because that's the last thing you want to do is trust mankind, okay? That's the last thing you want to do is trust mankind. You don't trust it. And even then, you don't even trust yourself at times. You have to question everything, okay? Because the 5 senses that we have cannot be trusted. This is why we have science. This is why we came up with science and the scientific method, because we cannot trust even our own senses.